56. Be merciful unto me, O God, for man would swallow me up. He fighting daily oppresseth me. Mine enemies would daily swallow me up, for they be many that fight against me, O thou most high. What time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. In God I will praise his word. In God I have put my trust. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. Every day they wrest my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps when they wait for my soul. Shall they escape by iniquity? In thine anger cast down the people, O God. Thou tellest my wanderings. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? When I cry unto thee, they shall be my enemies turned back. This I know, for God is for me. In God will I praise his word. In the Lord will I praise his word. In God have I put my trust. I will not be afraid what man can do unto me. Thy vows are upon me, O God. I will render praises unto thee. For thou hast delivered my soul from death. Will not thou deliver my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of the living? The first two verses here, David is describing his problems to God. See, this is a prayer, a song that David sang while he was had been captured by the Philistines. And here he's saying, be merciful unto me, O God, for man would swallow me up. He fighting daily oppresses me. Mine enemies would daily swallow me up. For they be many that fight against me, O thou most high. I know that there's a lot of times that we have that feeling too. We feel like our foes have trampled on us. The New American Standard says, my foes have trampled upon me all day long. For they are many who fight proudly against me. I know that we have been in that situation where we feel like Satan, we feel like those around us have just trampled on us all day long. The whole day. And here David's in that spot. He's captured. He's imprisoned. And he's saying, God, look, be merciful to me. Be gracious to me. Because my enemies, they've overcome me. They're trampling on me every day. They've captured me. I'm in trouble. I don't know what to do. I don't have any way out of this. Be merciful to me. And I know that we've all had prayers like that. We've all had prayers like that. God, I just don't know what to do anymore. I don't know if I can go any further. There's nothing that I can do to get out of this. Everything is against me. And that's a hard place to be at. You realize that at one point you have everything under control. Life's going great. Everything's good. I mean, he's a king. He has everything that he wants right there. And now he's a prisoner. Everything that he has taken away. And not just any kind of prisoner, but a king captured. He's in real trouble. And like I said, we've been there. We've had those times where we felt like nothing was right. Everything was wrong. And we come to God and we cry out, God, help me. Help me. There's nothing I can do. I need you. I need your grace. I need your mercy. I need your help. Well, we look on and we see verses 3 and 4. It says, what time I am afraid, I will trust in thee. In God I will praise his word. In God have I put my trust. I will not fear what flesh or what man can do to me. Now he's just described his situation. His enemies trampling on him all day. Needing God's help and mercy. And then he says, but in the time that I'm afraid, or when I'm afraid, I will trust you. I will trust you. How many of us, as we've prayed about our problems, prayed about our fears, prayed about what's going wrong in our lives, how many of us have gone to God with those things, and then at the end of our prayer said, you know what, God, I know it doesn't matter. I know it doesn't matter at all. Because even though I'm afraid, even though I'm tired, even though I'm weary, even though I'm beat up, even though I don't know what direction to go, I'm going to trust you. I'm going to put my trust and my faith in you completely and fully. I will not fear what flesh can do unto me. How many of you have said that in a prayer? God, everything's going wrong, but I'm trusting you, and I'm not going to be afraid of what anyone around me can do to me. He's showing some faith here. Real faith in God. God, whatever comes my way, I know that you're in control. God, whatever these people do to me, I know that you're in control. God, no matter how bad, how dark, how bleak it looks, I know that you are in control. That's faith. It's easy to have faith in God when things are going good. It's a little harder to have faith in God when things are going bad. And it's even harder still to have faith in God when things continue to go bad. But here he's saying that, Lord, I've presented my case to you. I've told you what's going on. I told you I have faith in you. But even if they keep coming, even if they keep attacking, even if they keep beating me down, I'm still going to have faith in you. I'm not going to fear what they're going to do. I'm not going to fear what they're capable of doing. But I'm going to trust in you. It's a lot. It's a mouthful. But then we see that the things that are coming against him are still on his mind. Verses 5 through 7. He goes on to talk about it. They wrest my words, or they distort or bend my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They gather themselves together. They hide themselves. They mark my steps, or they follow me. They hunt me. They stalk me. He realizes how intense they are about catching him, about overtaking him, about just destroying him completely. All of their thoughts are evil against him. Everything they think is to try and destroy him, to try and take him out. And they try to twist his words and bend what he says to try and gather more people in to join in with them so that they can enlarge their army against him and make people even more angry. Because they gather themselves together. And they hide lurk in the shadows, sneak around trying to find a way to attack him right when he's the weakest. How many of you have seen that? This one has a lot more to do with mankind. Man will take your words and twist them and bend them and try and make them mean something that they didn't mean to begin with. Try to take what you said and change the intent of it so that it sounds like you're someone that you're not. And then they hide and lurk in the shadows, waiting for that moment to strike. Waiting to see if all of these things that they've done against you, all the ways that they've attacked you, waiting to see if it's going to work, if it's going to weaken you, if you're going to stumble and fall, if you're going to mess up, if you're going to give up. Waiting for that moment. Have you ever watched National Geographic or Discovery where they have the animals, lions, whatever it is, stalking its prey? Now we all know that a sick antelope or whatever it is they're chasing stands no chance against a lion. It just doesn't. We know you put them both in the same room, let them fight it out, the lion's going to win every single time. But does the lion just run out there and say, hey, here I am, I'm going to get you now? No, it sneaks around. And even though it can overpower it, it sneaks around waiting for the weakest moment. It's not stupid. It doesn't want to waste all of its energy on something that can be easier. And so that's why this large army, this large group of people, they're stalking David. They're waiting for the perfect moment, for the weakest spot to show. They've done things to weaken him. They've attacked him. They've beat him. He's weary. He's tired. We've been weary and tired. And you wonder, why won't things just settle down? Why doesn't it just stop? Satan will keep attacking us here and there. A little peck here, a little peck there, a little thing here, a little thing there. We can't take Satan on by ourselves. You put us and Satan in the same room together, he's going to win every single time. We're not strong enough to take him on. But see, what makes that antelope or whatever it is strong is that it's in a group. It has all of them there to help protect it. And the lion waits for it to wander away from the herd, to get off by itself, to let down its defenses. And what makes us strong is that we have God to rely on, God to protect us, God to keep us safe. And Satan watches and waits and fights and throws a little stone here and a little stone there and allows someone to attack us here, send something after us over there. And finally we start to get beat up and tore up and smashed down, and we don't know where to go. We don't know which direction to head. And we begin to wander away from God. We begin to drift away from God. And when we do, that is when we are at our weakest. David's here pointing that out. God, they're attacking me. The enemy is attacking me. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. And they're stalking me. They're hiding in the shadows and the darkness. They're waiting for that moment to strike, just when I'm at my weakest, when I've begun to drift away from you. And when we do, that is when we are at our weakest. And David's here pointing that out. God, they're attacking me. The enemy is attacking me. I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. And they're stalking me. They're hiding in the shadows and the darkness. They're waiting for that moment to strike, just when I'm at my weakest, when I've begun to drift away from you. But then he says, because of wickedness, cast them forth. In anger, put down the peoples, O God. He's saying because of who they are, because of their iniquity, because of what they have done, Lord, I want you to cast them down. I want you to throw them down. He's gone from talking about his pain and suffering to talking about the power of God. Back to the things that they're doing against him now, stalking him, waiting for that weak moment. And now he's come back and he said, but God, it doesn't matter. I want you to throw them down. I want you to attack them. Come at them with your righteous anger and attack them. Verse 8, thou tellest my wanderings, meaning you know my story, you know my life. Put thou my tears into thy bottle. Are they not in thy book? You know everything that's going on with me. You know all of the things that I've had to deal with in the past. All the things that I'm dealing with now. You know them all. You've got it written down before you. You know my life story. Then he says, when I cry unto thee, then shall mine enemies turn back. This I know, for God is for me. Lord, you know the story of my life. You know what's happened. You know what's coming. Lord, but it doesn't matter, because when I cry to you, my enemies run away, because I know that God is for me. I know that you are for me, that you fight on my side. You have my back. No matter what comes my way, no matter what's going on around me, I know that you are in control. I know that you know what's going on, that you know where to attack them. You know how to handle the situation. He's well aware of the God that he serves. Well aware of the one that he has chosen to follow. Chosen to live for. Chosen to worship. He knows that the enemy is strong. He knows that he can't overcome them by himself. He knows that he stands no chance against them in battle. But he knows one that does. He knows one that is stronger than the strongest army, greater than the greatest foe. He knows one that no matter how big the giant is, he is bigger. That's right. And he says, when I come to you, when I cry to you, my enemies run. There have been songs written about how strong we are, that we are our strongest when we're on our knees. Scripture says that when we are weak, then he is made strong. And we all have those times. We all have those moments. Seems like everything's against us. Nothing's going right. Satan is bombarding us. People are bombarding us, twisting our words, trying to take us down. But it doesn't matter. Because when we cry to him, our enemies will run in fear. Because no army, no foe, no wall can stand against our God. No matter how big it may seem, they will fall just like the walls of Jericho. No matter how strong our foe may seem, no matter how big our problems are, they will fall just like Goliath. No matter how broad or wide our obstacle seems, God will make a path for us just like the Red Sea. Nothing can stand in our way because our God is great. He continues on and he says, "In God will I praise his word. In the Lord will I praise his word. In God have I put my trust. I will not be afraid of what man can do unto me. Thy vows are upon me, O God. Your promises are over me. Your promises are covering me. And I will render praises. I will give praise unto you. For thou hast delivered my soul from death. So will you not deliver my feet from falling? So that I may walk before God in the light of the living." What a prayer. I think that we have a lot to learn about prayer. A lot to learn. Because very, very few times do we ever get down to that last part of his prayer. We focus so much on the things coming against us, the things fighting us, that we forget how powerful our God is. We focus so much on the things going wrong that we forget how great and awesome and wonderful our God is, how mighty and strong he is. And even then, when we do remember, we just say, "God, I'm going to trust you. I'm taking my hands off of it. I'm going to let you have it. It's all yours." For a little while. But that's not what's shown to us here. Here is shown a faith so strong that before the prayer is even finished, he's saying, "God, I know you're going to take care of it. I know you have the power to overthrow my enemies, to overtake them, to throw them against the rocks, to smash them up. You have the power to destroy them. Just because I've cried to you. So I'm not going to be afraid of what man can do to me because I know that you can do much worse to them." And that is the God that we serve. I challenge you next time you pray. Tell God about your problems. Describe them to him. Tell him about your fears. The things that you worry about. The things that are bothering you. Tell him everything. Before it's over, I challenge you to say, "God, I know that you have control. And I want to thank you for helping me with this situation." Claim that victory. Believe that God has already taken care of it. Because he has. Before we even realize we've got a problem, he's already got the solution on the way. He's not going to let us go hungry. He's not going to let us be beaten up and tore down and thrown out to the wolves. He's not going to allow that to happen to us. He's always going to be on our side, always going to fight for us, always going to protect us. God is always going to be there. He has promised us that. So the only question is, do you believe him? Do you believe God? Because every time we doubt, every time we wonder if he's actually going to come through for us, it's almost the same thing as calling God a liar. I know that's a little harsh to say, but it's the fact. If I tell you that the sky is blue and you have to walk outside to look at it, you're doubting if I actually know how to tell the truth or not. And here God has given us promise after promise after promise of how He'll take care of us, how He loves us, how He'll protect us. Do you believe Him this morning? And if you do, are you praying like you believe?